Shut up.
Go ahead.
Sit down.
Well, hello, everybody. Fancy seeing you here. I am Draven Dresden, the host of this little shindig of a podcast, if that's what you want to call it. Here, we just call it, what the heck were we thinking? Welcome.
You say that like we're going to take any responsibility for this next hour, Draven.
Yeah, you're on your own, buddy.
For this next hour, yeah, but after that, then you're absolved of all responsibility thereafter. As you can tell, I got people with me, so I'm just gonna go ahead and switch this over. Up first, we got some Galva's back. He didn't listen to the show last week, and I know this because he didn't make any comments about me calling him an it.
Thanks. Thank you for the its.
Yes.
There's my best impression of Pennywise.
Okay, guys, I want you to gift that. If I have one request, don't make me do it after the show's over.
Yeah, so let's see. What do you want to know?
Well, what have you been up to for the past little while? I mean, obviously Valentine's Day was a few days ago, and I know this because you didn't show up to raid.
That's right. I was busy. So I'll back up 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, I got asked in to help out Hell to Pay with their progression on Heroic. And a couple pulls later, iHeals and I tanked our way to ahead of the curve, which is pretty cool. I just hadn't really seen it before on Heroic, but that was a fun little accident. So hit ahead of the curve since the last time I was on. Valentine's Day, I was with my girlfriend, who our first date was going to see the movie It. So she sent me this GIF of Pennywise waving to Forrest Gump, because Pennywise has the boy's little hand and he waves it and smiles, and then Forrest Gump waves back from the boat, and it's like the exact same wave. It's really disturbing and hilarious. You can find it online. So that was good.
I don't know her at all, but I already approve.
Right?
Because my opinion matters.
Well, I don't know. You probably can't see the shirt I got on, but she's a roller girl, and I got her Derby team shirt on right now, but you just can't see it.
Let's pull it up a little bit.
Well, one of these things here. See, she's on the Garda belts, and if you don't know the Gardas, those are Irish police drinkers.
Oh, I went somewhere completely different with the way it sounded. So okay.
Well, that's the whole point. That's the whole point. So that's good. Let's see. Fire department is on Agrimar and Argus. The next two targets up, which is great. You already know that, Draven. But because I was out on Valentine's Day, I have got my lockout still fresh for Monday, so we get to skip right on to those guys and not have to slog on Coven again this week, which will be pretty awesome. Last Friday, 2 games came out. They're not Blizzard games, but Dragon Quest Builders on Switch. If you ever remember playing Dragon Warrior on the original Nintendo, it was one of my favorite role-playing or RPGs from back in the day.
Which
8-bit
one?
lands, where you fought the blobs.
That narrows it down. Which Dragon Warrior game? There's like 37
The first
of them.
one.
The very first
No.
one. Okay.
The original was on Nintendo Entertainment System, like circa 1988, 1999, somewhere in there. And what's this? Something. Oh, I see. Yes. Okay.
Wasn't
I was
about
reading
love.
the chat channel there. Sorry, I had to catch up on chat because I saw my name pop up. Thanks, Wicked. Thanks, Golf Professional, who's Callaway. And
is love?
then the other game was Civ 6.
Yes.
Rise Fall. That I've been playing that. Oh my God, it's okay. I like it, but my least favorite thing about Civ is when there's so many details that each turn takes you like an hour. And this adds layers of complexity that absolutely cause that to happen. So
Yes, it does.
those are the other ways. And my kids, by the way, have been playing Dragon Quest Builders. And if you haven't seen that yet, it's all the Dragon Quest stuff, but in a Minecraft setting. Like every block is destructible. You have to craft your towns. You have to repair all the towns from the game and fight all the enemies. So it's got serious depth and interesting tweaky things. So, and it's been a little warmer up where I'm at. So we got out running with the dog lately too, which is nice. So hopefully I'll be getting in shape a little better. That's me.
So you're playing a game, Civ 6, that is about taking over the world. Am I accurate in that?
Well, the new expansion adds the dimensions of culture and loyalty. So taking over the world can be done by causing your Civ to have everyone's like, oh my God, their Civ is so awesome. Our Civ sucks. Let's join them. So yes. Yeah. Okay. You just don't have to fire tanks all the time to get there.
Okay. So you're complaining about a game that its turns take a while, but you're trying to take over the world, expecting it to be easy? Did you not watch Pinky and the Brain?
Oh. What are we doing tonight, Brain? The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Yeah, but how are we going to get a squirrel to swallow a light bulb?
Make it look like a peanut. Speaking of squirrels and peanuts, you've heard her already. If you listen to almost any podcast, especially Blizzard related, you probably know who she is. Alisaunder. Hi.
Hi.
Is this your photo from college? Which photo are we using?
Sure, it's my driver's license photo. Let's go with that.
We actually found a picture of Howland, and since we didn't have, a picture for Alisaunder, so we was like, here's a picture of Howland. Hope you don't mind.
I too have been playing some Civ 6 this week, although not very much because of all the Starcraft tournaments that have been going on, as well as everything else that's been going on this week. It's been crazy, but the thing is that what I always really like about Civilization is the building stuff. Kind of like when I used to play SimCity, but this loyalty thing, it's almost even more distracting than the religion game is, because once those missionaries start coming and all those freaking apostles, you can't do anything but respond to them because they're just going to snow you under. Yep. And the loyalty thing is almost worse. So I'm not sure how I feel about it just yet. But I haven't had time to really get in and play it, except that currently I am, however, winning the game that I am playing. So I'm pleased and enjoying my game because I'm winning so far.
Yeah, I couldn't play a game like that. It's just too much different stuff, and I know me. I'd start getting the religion people, and I'd just start executing them.
Oh, you can do that. And I actually had to declare war on Gandhi because his missionaries were getting a little out of control.
Gandhi is the most vicious warmongering MFer in the whole game. Everyone hates Gandhi.
You think it's going to be Genghis Khan.
No.
That's a close second, but no. It's truly Gandhi.
You can negotiate with Genghis Khan. Gandhi, no.
Yeah, I even tried, and he's like, no, it will be for the best. I'm like hell it will. And declared war on the guy. It hurt me to do it because I have bonuses for being at peace, and I just could not. They were everywhere. So once I'm at war with them, then I can start killing all of his missionaries, and it was insane.
I'll aside with you later on some details on how I deal with that right now. But
I'll tell you how I dealt with that. I conquered enough of his cities that when we did peace, I demanded every other city he had but his capital.
Oh, wow. And he bit.
He had to.
And then you spent the next 6 hours with the warmongering penalty for all your diplomacy.
No, actually I did because he started it.
Oh.
I had to cast a spell eye for something or other that I wasn't really, using because I wasn't interested in going to war until he pushed me into it. It was his fault. It's like a role-playing game, Draven. It really is. It's like an RPG.
He's looking at us like we're talking Hearthstone.
Yeah, so I did that this week, and I watched a lot of Starcraft this week, and I watched more Starcraft this week, and I even played a little World of Warcraft. And my friends that have been trying to learn how to fly for 6 months finally got flight this week. So when we got flight, we immediately bunked off and started playing something else. Conan Exiles, which is also a really good game. And then it patched this week, and I haven't been able to get in because of patch this week. But anyway, it's been a long week.
Sounds
like you're having fun. Yeah.
As long as you're having
my computer
fun.
died, but I finally got it back, so.
Yay. Dead computers are no fun. Unless you're hitting
What's that
someone.
better?
Well, I mean, you could use them to hit somebody you don't like with them. That could be fun. But that's neither here nor there. That doesn't really belong to the podcast world. So forget I said that. Because I didn't. Let's see. My week this week has been a whole lot of not Valentine's Day event because I don't need to do it anymore. Because I got the mount on February 5th, so I'm like, done!
Congrats on that, by the way. Yeah.
1,314 confirmable kills. And I know I have more than that overall, but I can't confirm them, so.
But congratulations, because it's really cute.
Yes. So I've been writing
Do you use it? Okay,
yes, I'm using it on every character. And people are like, you suck. I was like, yeah, I know. Then I tell them how many times I tried, and they were like, you suck less, but you still suck.
Just stop whipping the dead rocket.
Yeah.
I actually got it last year, but I was trying to help Marconin with his runs by bringing a tank or healer, because I didn't need it anymore, but naturally I was riding it because it's, why wouldn't you? So I would log into the instance and then remember, oops, I probably shouldn't be riding this because they're going to get mad, and immediately try and get off of it, but they all probably already saw it because it's a bit pink. So I got a lot of dirty looks last year.
Yeah. I'm even riding it on my lobies that can't get it to drop. Because that was fun. But other than that, a little bit of Overwatch here and there. I finished my placements, did the capture the flag placements, placed higher in that, but I Torbjorn mained that because he's overpowered in that.
Tobo man.
Only in capture the flag. I almost never play him in actual games. I stick to Junkrat and Widowmaker and Pharah and Diva and all the other fun ones, but haven't really played a lot of heroes this week, mainly because of a lack of time. Between keeping up enough of my Warcraft characters, I have to keep up on Overwatch stuff because the other podcast I'm on, shameless plug, Heroes Never Die, and all that. So a little bit less heroes than I would like. I still play it from time to time, but it's mostly WoW when I have a chance. Taking care of my relatives as they need. What I thought was going to be a 3-hour visit the other day turned into about 10. At least it felt like 10. It was probably a lot less than that, but that was fun. Dog sitting. I got the Men in Black dog right here behind me.
Nice.
Yeah, he's sleeping. So that's been my week.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, not as busy as you guys.
I crammed 2 weeks worth of crap into my intro, so yeah.
Well,
Mine feels like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know what happened.
My Valentine's Day involved raiding.
You got both of your 2 weeks jammed into your mouth there. I can see it in the photo.
I went nuts this week.
It's a great photo. I just keep looking at it.
On that note,
you talk. I look to the photo. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. On that note, let's go ahead and do some new stuff because otherwise we're going to start making jokes about nuts and mouths.
Squirrel.
And up first, Starcraft. I figured we'd actually talk about it this week because Well, Alisaunder's here, and she's a bigger Starcraft fan than I am.
And because I'll stop emailing you every single day?
No, I don't expect that.
Your enthusiasm is meritorious.
I don't cover Starcraft a lot because really you're the only person that asks about it. So
I know. I know 5 people that are interested, however. So.
No, see, I will watch it from time to time. Not nearly as much now because aforementioned busy, but I love.
It's a weird game in that you actually have to pay attention when you watch it if you're fully gonna get it. Because the announcers are really good at explaining everything, and sometimes during some of the matches, there's not much going on because they're just kind of baiting each other and waiting for someone to make this teeny little mistake that they can exploit. Mm-hmm. And once they make that teeny little mistake, but it might be 20 minutes later, and then it's just all over in like 60 seconds. But getting to that point, especially when they get to be really good players, is really hard. So I understand why a lot of people just can't get into it.
Yeah, I know my current strategy is throw my entire army at them until they fall over, or I will fall over in the process. And going against people, that's not a good strat.
Yeah, in a lot of these RTS games, there's a series of opening moves, or it's almost scripted. Where if you don't accomplish task A by this many seconds into the game, you're already behind. And then once you pass a certain threshold, you have a lot more choices.
Yeah.
That's true to an extent because you've got to set up your economy, just like Civilization, where if you don't have a scout going out and you don't have a second city built, you're already kind of behind. Like just putting your first city down, if you take too long trying to find the better place for it, you're just kind of screwed. But there's always a different strategy you can use, and sometimes by doing something unorthodox, people don't know what to expect. They're like, what happened? Where's the thing? It's not here, so it must be somewhere else. So maybe they're doing a proxy, and then they get the wrong idea what you're doing, so then they're trying to react to things that they think you're doing, and then the whole mind game starts. So sometimes it can work in your favor if they don't figure out what's really going on, but then they'll try and scout you again, so it's just like this constant mind war going on. It can be pretty fascinating, I think.
Yeah, playing mind games with the minds.
Well, that's how, I forget who it was, but, it was Scarlet. She won one of her matches 2 weeks ago, where she built like a four Zerglings, like super fast. Got them immediately out of dodge before his scout showed up. And so he didn't know she had the Zerglings built just yet. And so he totally misread what he saw of her base. And then they just took the long route, got into his base because he didn't think he needed to wall off in time. And she won that match. It was like 2 minutes later. It was just insane.
Damn.
Yeah, it was like blink and you miss it because he wasn't ready. He didn't think he had to be ready.
Oh, what else is going on? Like, what else is big Starcraft news this week?
Pretty much everything Scarlet. She won what I like to call the Olympics Starcraft event, which was actually IEM Pyeongchang, which was their... the host country is allowed to pick a game that they would like to see in the future Olympics and put it up for evaluation. And this time they picked StarCraft as their esport because they've been talking about esports in the Olympics for a while, but a lot of esports have a very negative community or some other problem, like a shooter has too many guns going on, and a lot of countries aren't real keen on that. So they ended up with StarCraft as it being an acceptable possible, and so they did StarCraft this year. And they got, I think it was 16 of the top people by invitation. And Scarlet was one of them. She's been living in Korea for the past 2 or 3 years now. And she's always been good, but when you're at that incredibly high level where everyone's better than you, it's hard to say you're really good because you keep losing because everyone's just that slight bit better than you. But somehow... this year, it just all clicked for her, and she just went through every big name that plays over in Korea, which are all big names over there, and just took them all out. It was incredible. And then GSL started, which is their version of basically the BlizzCon events, but the BlizzCon ladder, they have their own special ladder, which is the GSL Code S. Don't ask me what says Code S because I've never found an explanation, but they have their own special tournament that they do, and they run it 2 nights a week for like months on end. And she got chosen to be in Group A with Innovation, who's practically like a walking legend, and a couple of other just super big guys. And she made it look easy, just kicking Innovation completely out of the entire tournament on day 1. That she was expected to lose, even though she had just won the thing, because it's Innovation and Zest. She was in the same group with them. Zest went with her, but Innovation, he's out already. It's insane. And so she's been doing just really super well.
Nice.
And Nation Wars is about to start up, which is it's kind of an official tournament. It's on the Blizzard website, but it's kind of unofficial in that they're not really involved with it, other than kind of acknowledging that this is a good tournament. And the thing about Nation Wars that I love is that it's not one player versus, like a normal ladder. It's by country, and so Scarlet's Canadian, so they're going to have signups are starting. The signups have already started, and they end in February 27, which is in 2 weeks. And so players from every country in the world can sign up, and then they put a list up on their website of like everyone that signed up for every country, and then people like you and me go to this website. We pick out of the 7 people that signed up for France, or the 10 people that signed up for America. We pick which of those guys we want to play for our country, and we can pick from any country. We don't have to pick just our own country. And so some people, they pick, like, I want Innovation, I want Zest, I want Sue, I want Stats, I want the big guys, the big guns. But last year, for instance, for the Americas, we picked Neeb, and we've also picked Nathanius, who is a caster. He's good, but he's also really funny. He's a streamer, and he's just really funny. And so people picked him because
they want to be entertained.
Yeah, they wanted to see him play. They didn't want him to win because that was Neeb's job.
Didn't Neeb go really far? I thought Neeb won one just a little while ago.
Not this year yet, that I know of. Not a big one, anyway. He won 3 of them last year.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, last year was totally Neeb's year until BlizzCon, because he went nowhere at BlizzCon. It was the weirdest thing. He was supposed to be Final 2 at the very least. And it just, I don't even know. It was just like he just wasn't even there. But who, I didn't know. I mean, if I ever played him, it would be over in like nothing. I'd just be like, GG, can I have your autograph? Kind of like But yeah, so the fun thing is that it's a little bit like the Overwatch League, where you're not, it's sort of like, this is my team because this is Team USA or Team France or Team England or whoever you literally who you chose to play for you. And last year when Nathanius did it, he put this like a wallpaper behind it that was like a giant American flag with eagles, and then after every break he would update the thing with like, now the Eagles carrying Big Macs, except it was like the what was that KFC thing, the double down. It was like the American flag with an eagle carrying double downs in its claws, because he couldn't think of anything more American and iconic than double downs. It was like,
I'm hungry.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was theatrical. It was funny. And the really funny part about Nathanius last year is that his first match was against, I think, Hearthstone. And he actually was doing really well. He was doing so well that he rebuffed the first push, and no one thought he would. And he did really well, and everyone was like, did you really see that? He was really good. Did you see how well that went? And he said afterwards that he did so well that he immediately had a nervous breakdown and just sat there like cuddled into a ball for like 60 seconds because he didn't think he was going to do well either. And all of a sudden he did. And of course, by that point, Hearthstone was like, oh, no, you don't. And, it, just completely took the floor with him. But people are allowed to be people, and I love it. So I'm really excited for Nation Wars, obviously, as you can tell. But That's the main thing. And I also
would have guessed.
I know.
Your enthusiasm is infectious.
Well,
but I think
when they do things that are different, it's really cool.
Yeah,
but I do want to say one other thing, because the Starcraft AI tournament is finally over. That's been running for 3 months. Mm-hmm. And the student division was won by a kid from University of Southern California, and the second was like a kid from Netherlands, and the third guy was from like Finland, I think it was Finland, Norway, Denmark, one of those places. So that was pretty cool. But then the open division, which has been running, and they had like 1,000 bots entered to this. Anybody could enter to it, including the student division. They were put in it as well. One of the students actually came in second, Marion DeBecca, and she was kind of the one I was kind of hoping would win, because she's such a cool bot. She's kind of like, she's hyper aggressive in the way she plays, which is super interesting to watch as matches. So I was really hoping that she would go pretty far, and she did. She came in second. And she's a student, so I mean that's pretty good. But the winner, I did not expect this. It was a bot called Cherry Pie, P-I, and it was put together by Facebook.
What?
Facebook.
Like
I didn't even know they
Facebook
had. Yes, like, Facebook.
Okay. Cool.
I did not know, and I was like looking at the page to find out, who won, because I knew that they were having the finals last week. And it was Facebook, Cherry Pie by Facebook. So, congratulations to Facebook. I didn't even know you were involved in this. But, yeah.
Good on them. That's an impressive piece of engineering right there.
Yeah. I don't know who else was involved.
Finally did something
name.
Worthwhile.
I'm hoping that there's a Facebook page up there for the bot, because there should be, but
I know how to defeat their bot already, though. Just tell everyone that there's a terms of service change.
Well, the reason that the bots are interesting me is because it's about AI and improving AI for just games in general. Every single game that we play has AI in it, and this is just making AI better, because you know that these students are going to get hired by somebody, and a lot of them are probably going to be hired by game companies, and so that's pretty good. And we've all got the war fronts coming up in Warcraft, and I'm really excited about that, and just general AI in general. Like, we've all done a raid or a dungeon, or just sitting in the world where that bugbear over there, who's just 10 feet away, just casually not noticing us butchering the guy over here, because he's just standing there. Just little things that would make the world a little bit better, maybe a little harder, but just more interesting to play.
Well, there's that comic where it was, I think, Kel Thalas, and he goes to setting, like it's like 8 frames. It's the comic we already all read, but there's like 8 frames, and he's looking around. Everything's really foggy and fuzzy. So he opens up his settings and goes to adjust view distance, and like slides his slider bar out and sees some shadows, and slides it out further and sees outlines of people, and slides out further and sees a whole bunch of raiders sitting there eating food, buffing. And then the last frame, they're like, "How did he know we were here?" They're all dead.
Oh, I love that kind of thing.
Well, see, now it's been the other way. I used to play EverQuest, and in some of the maps on EverQuest, specifically like the Plane of Hate, everything had a 100% line of sight. If you if you weren't even rendering the enemy, but it had line of sight on you, it would cross the zone to kill you. Like,
I played EverQuest. I was a bard, and I was also a wizard.
So you know what I'm talking about.
I totally know what you're talking about. I spent many a time playing in the Plane of Hate, because my armor came from there, and because as a wizard, the only way to get there was to be ported up by a wizard. And so I was a necessary person, because I would actually stay during the corpse retrievals, because there were always corpse retrievals for hours, because that was EverQuest. And
I played a rogue.
Would not.
I had the multi-corpse macro. All I did was drag bodies for hours.
I remember. What server were you on?
Erosly Mar.
I was on Tunair.
Yeah.
Oh, man, that was a hell of a time, though.
I tell you, I hear people talk about that, and at least you've seen both sides of it, where where's the World of Warcraft AI at with how far is the view distance? It's like, man, you guys, it's super comfy in World of Warcraft. It's very, very casual. You don't have to worry about stuff seeing you from 50 feet away and killing you. It's very, very casual. It's good.
Well, EverQuest solved that problem a little bit because once you had aggro, if you ran away, the bosses would sometimes like Vox, which is teleport you right back to her. It didn't matter how far away you'd gotten. Good times.
Yeah. Boom, you're dead. Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yep, better hope that Cleric camped out in time.
Any other cool StarCraft tidbits for this week?
Well, the Base Trade TV house had I want to say a party the other night where they just kind of sat around and talked for a while. And, yeah, it was a pretty good time.
Any drunk hookups?
No, not yet. That's next week. But it's mostly guys in Scarlet, so, there's that. And, of course, special.
Not much is going to happen in that setting.
No, but Stefano was there, and Elazer was there, DNS was there, Drogo was there, so cute, very cute. I forget who else was there. I think Puck is there as well. So there's a lot of really cute guys there right now at the house. So it's kind of one of my favorite channels at the moment for no reason that I can think of. Obviously, I go for the StarCraft.
Yeah, I can tell.
So
awesome.
Anyway, about that Overwatch.
Well, what's next on the list? Someone poke Draven, wake him up.
Oh, what?
Turn on his
Diablo.
mic.
What? Oh.
Diablo. I found Diablo news this week.
Yeah, there's actually Diablo news this week too. So that's two games we almost never talk about.
I know. I was surprised when this came up on my feed.
Yeah, it's real simple for Diablo. This though, season 13. It's getting ready to start, or did it already start?
Let me go look.
I can't remember. I know it
starts Friday, February 23rd.
Okay, so I've got a few days.
But it does have a really cute teddy bear that I'm told is adorable, except for the fact that it has a knife.
Does it go around and collect your stuff for you? Oh, I see it. Yeah, it's
That's
very
what
bloody.
I'm told.
It's very bloody.
I might need to do this season then if there's a teddy bear with a knife.
Yeah, dude, it basically looks like it ate someone's heart out, and it's just got blood all over its face and hands.
And down its chest.
This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it says don't ask him about the knife. So when you do, please let us know how that goes, okay, Draven?
Okay, I'm just going to walk up. Hey, about that knife. Ah! No, I'm your master. Ah, stop it.
Where are you? Where are you, though?
Yes, I'm the commander of all stuffed teddy bears. Did you not get the memo?
As a hunter player, I'm actually down with that. I think that would be kind of adorable.
Wait.
For like April Fool's Day, like if we could have like
just turn all the bears into
teddy bears or stuffed animals.
Oh.
We've got like the stuffed Elec already. There's
That's
like
true,
a stuffed
plushie.
Magic against Suramar. Just all of our animals turn into plushies just for a day.
That's a lot of coding they'd have to mess with, though.
I think they should introduce magic pets, like enchanted pets for hunters. Like you have to like tame a stuffed bear, or like tame a stuffed crab, or something like that, or a stuffed murloc. How would that be for a pet? A murloc pet.
That'd be kind of adorable.
Right?
I would be in favor of it, but I don't see them doing that, unfortunately.
No, but now that we've put it in their ear, maybe.
Maybe. I would play my hunter more if I had a murloc as an actual companion pet and not a pet battle pet.
Well, no, I mean like a stuffed animal murloc.
Well,
like
either one.
A really creepy, like Chucky, stab your enemies with your pet.
Does it have a spear or a knife?
Maybe both. Maybe the knife is like strapped on the end of a long stick. Like it's noticeably a knife, but it's on the end of a stick.
What if I gave him the special sword that's like a baseball bat with a with a nail through the end of it. And then when I did a Stampede, he could do Stampede too.
Yes.
So cute.
And it would all be
Murlocs.
Stuffed Murlocs. You'd even need a nail. You could do the knife through the end of the stick. How about that? Yeah. The butcher's knife through the end of the baseball bat.
I'd just like to point out we're talking about Murlocs during Diablo. Just as a side note, I mean, we're epic fail for a reason, so it's okay. But
well, there was another Diablo news. They're looking for people again, so people are speculating that there might be another Diablo thing coming soon. I really hope that's true.
I would be okay with another expansion for Diablo.
I would be okay with anything for Diablo.
4.
What about Diablo from mobile?
No.
I'm okay with that.
No, it doesn't feel right to have that on mobile to me.
All
Would it
you
be
do
like
is
the original
tap the
Diablo or
screen.
something?
Tap.
But you have other things, like you have your abilities and stuff you have to be able to use, and the UI on a phone, maybe on like an iPad or something, but on a phone, no, the screen's too small to have that kind of thing.
Maybe you just need a bigger phone.
That is also possible.
Size matters.
Yeah, well, I could make so many comments there, but I'm just not gonna. So this week in Heroes.
Wait. Carrie Ann has a cute teddy bear Diablo. We need to see pictures of this. Please send them to Draven
she
at
has
the podcast address he will give at the end.
She has the Warcraft pet Diablo.
Oh. I still want to see it.
Okay.
I'll toss something in the
Here's all of the great Heroes of the Storm news of this week.
Not true, because I actually sent this to you last month.
Last month.
And it finally actually happened.
Wait,
this month.
There's all sorts of... or did you already talk about Lunar Everything?
Yeah, we talked about that last week, because it did start last week.
All right, fair enough.
Okay, so what was my joke missing, Alisaunder?
The regional championships have started. They announced them last month, and now they're actually happening. And that TV show that Raycom was going to have about the people playing the Heroes of the Dorm actually started today, the TV show. But I can't find anything about it because it's not in my area. But the first episode was tonight. And the TV show runs from February 17th to March 15th. It's about Heroes of the Dorm, the people that are playing it, the kids, and the championship, and the tournaments, and the drive, and all that kind of thing. And it's supposed to be a 1-hour show. And I really would like to watch it, or at least like see what it's about. So I'm kind of disappointed because I was kind of hoping that there would be like maybe at least some ads or something on their website about it. But
they don't. As much as I love Heroes and Blizzard and all that, they don't support Heroes. Or really Starcraft, or really Hearthstone. Overwatch League is their baby right now, so they don't have the time or energy. I mean, they do, but they're just not putting in the time or energy into any other esport, including Warcraft.
I know, but they at least did have a website about it. Yeah. Not specifically about the Raycom thing, but they've got like brackets and sign-ups and stuff like that going on for Heroes of the Dorm. And actually, they extended the day to register for it to Friday. So I don't know if that means yesterday Friday or next Friday, but they are doing stuff, but they're just not telling people about them.
That's
you're not wrong.
Issue.
Yeah.
And I was making a bad joke about Heroes. There was a little bit of news. The Western Clash is coming up. Everyone, all the teams are now set, I believe. I can't name them off the top of my head because I've paid so little attention to it because they haven't advertised it at all.
I know. That's kind of become my job lately. That's one reason why I don't have as much time, is because I'm trying to find all this news that Blizzard doesn't promote, so that people like you can have something to talk about, because things are happening, and I'm interested in these kind of things.
You gotta have your theme
other
song
people
play.
too.
Let's give them something to talk about. Something to talk about.
I mean, so I'm going to give Blizzard a little bit of a hard time. I'm a Blizzard fanboy, I would admit that, but I will give them a hard time where it's deserved. That being said, Battle.net app has Overwatch League on it. They added that button. How hard would it be to either change it to esports or whatever the highlight of the day is, like on days where Overwatch League is on, since that's the big thing. Make that button show Overwatch League. If they're not on, HGC or whatever. Make it an esports button, or give each esport its own button.
Yep.
I think on the launcher because no one uses the launcher.
No, my launcher autos turns on when I turn my computer on the rare instance that I turn it off.
I would say that their use of the launcher to promote Overwatch has been
and Destiny
really good.
Yeah, and Destiny, but that's
Overwatch specifically. I think has been if they used some of those same techniques to promote these other items, they'd get a lot more attention.
Yeah.
And I'm not even asking for a lot of attention, just to say that there's, this week we have an Overwatch tournament and a Starcraft tournament and a Heroes tournament and a Hearthstone tournament, because everyone has a tournament this week except for Diablo, who's starting a new season. So it's just mention it, and then put a link to where we can go to find a website about it and brackets and sign-ups and, I don't feel I'm asking for much, but yet somehow it feels like somehow I am asking too much. I don't really understand that.
If they're going to put the events on, if they're going to have why not tell people about it, draw attention to it? Maybe they're trying not to dilute their
Overwatch
market share in Overwatch right now. Yeah, they want to have eyeballs on that so they can perpetuate the contracts and the broadcasting rights and all that stuff. But I think that they should still do service to the other esports as well.
Yeah, I mean,
when Overwatch isn't on, they could be playing the Heroes of the Storm rerun or something like that. And earlier today this happened, and then this happened.
Well,
Put ads in.
Each game has its own channel, so that's fine. And Overwatch is the new baby. It's Overwatch League. It has the most viewers, etc. So I can understand them focusing on that one. All I'm asking for is that these other games have some attention too. I understand not all things being equal, that kind of thing. But don't just put them out there and be like, well, we don't know what to do. You clearly know what to do with Overwatch. Why can't you do something with all of the other games? I mean, when the MDI comes up, I guarantee you it's going to get some attention on it.
Yeah.
Oh yes, I love that. I watched that last year.
I mean, I watched it too, but I
watched it out of duty, and I kept watching it because it was fun.
Yeah.
I feel like they should do a better job organizing some of these things, including the BlizzCon. Like if you have the digital ticket and stuff, I feel like they should have pages where it's all very well organized. Like they have links to the videos, but for example, if you miss the live play of this, you should be able to see like the menu of the sequence of action, so you could easily follow it. I think there's a lot of those little refining touches that aren't done that should be done, because it would be a lot easier to keep up with this stuff if it was presented in a digestible format that was easy to access, instead of just lists of prior broadcasts, for example, that don't have any continuity or context to what happened.
Well, with BlizzCon in particular, one segment doesn't necessarily lead into another. It is this is this segment, this is this segment, this is this segment. So you can break it up like that, and you just be like, okay, which one do I want to watch? Whereas something like an esport, you might actually, why did they do this?
Right.
Well, okay, back it up 20 minutes and watch the events unfold up too. So that I get, but
yeah.
But I mean, I like watching the esports. I don't watch nearly as much as I used to. I think the most I've watched has been Overwatch League, but again, the other podcast, I have to.
It's good too,
and it's good.
It is good.
But I'm not taking anything away from it. But at the same time, I would like to watch more HGC. I would like to watch a little bit of the WoW Arena. I mean, I'm never going to play WoW Arena. But
there was a lot of Arena on today, and I didn't have a chance to watch it because of everything else, but I wanted to because some of the podcasts I listen to, like Technically PvP and Dark Moon Herald, they've been talking a lot about PvP, and it's kind of spurred my interest in PvP again. And I just kind of wish I had more time, but there's too much going on to do anything.
Yeah. And getting back to you guys in particular and for the chat room, the picture of the bear that Carrie Ann in chat mentioned is now linked in our Epic Fail Discord.
Cool.
She sent it directly to me, so.
Oh, yeah.
So she does have a teddy bear in Diablo. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, just with all the changes to everything, it's just been really hard for me to keep up on all the esports on top of everything going on in real life. So I'll get there eventually.
Well,
yeah.
I've been thinking about it, and because it is hard for people, I've been thinking about just recording like a 2 minutes of Starcraft. Here you go, just kind of throw it in at the end. And then I won't have to bother you. You won't have to care. Just, it's there, kind of a thing. And it's just hard to get around to doing it.
I wasn't trying to kid you earlier or anything. I thought that with all the ways that you have been aggregating that StarCraft news and how many people you help keep up to date on it, because it's not easy to find. They don't advertise it. They should. But I think you would, if you did something like that and did a redux, like a 2 minute or a 3 minute, you don't even have to limit yourself to 2. But the 2 things, it would be a cool exercise for you to do in, can you distill that information down into a couple of really cool sound bites? And then the follow-up to that is, even though your presentation is short, maybe with it you give someone a bunch of relevant links. So it's like news, and then, hey, click the links to follow up on it, and you can VOD that out and share it with your with the other people that you talk to normally, and then you could VOD it on like YouTube or something and have those links below.
Are you suggesting that she does realm maintenance for esports?
No, that's Pat Crane. He's doing that just for StarCraft and maybe Diablo.
Well, but Pat could use you. I mean, I'm not saying Pat will. I'm just saying I could go over to his house and say, dude, use Alisaunder's thing.
Actually, I caught him podcasting this week. Just not podcasting, but just on a stream. And I asked him politely if he wanted to be on my mailing list, and he made the mistake of saying sure.
Yeah, he's like that. Yeah.
Yes, he is.
Oh, Pat, you poor soul. You don't know what you've gotten yourself into. I'm kidding.
No, because I always thought that your delivery, your info's great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't always use the stuff that she sends, but I always, whenever I get it, I read it and I check it, and it might influence some of the stuff that comes in and that for new stuff and all that. But I also have to take into account: is she going to be the only one of our listeners that cares?
I know, and I understand that.
So keep sending them.
I'm not really.
Don't get me wrong. Keep sending stuff. I'll preferably through Discord, because for whatever reason, the email isn't always working. But
that's true.
I do check it.
And I understand that, because I listen to a ton of podcasts, and they don't always talk about stuff I'm interested in, and that's fine. I can just fast forward through it, and I don't want to waste people's time. But
speaking of stuff that I'm not interested in,
oh god,
there's a sale in Hearthstone.
I like the segue.
Jesus,
I have Hearthstone news for you. Go for it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I
really worked hard this week.
Hearthstone, there's a couple things going on this week. The big boss challenge is still in Tavern Brawl. Now, they've done boss challenge before, okay, where you were assigned a random boss. The twist this time around is you get to pick your class. This has 2 effects. One is they've got 9 bosses out there. So depending on which class you pick, that class is one of the bosses from the game that you get to play as. The other thing is you get to complete some of your daily quests because you picked a class. So if you picked Rogue and one of your dailies was win 3 games as a Rogue, then this week you're playing as Grobulus, and every time you do the Tavern Brawl, which is pretty cool. You don't have to get a random assigned one. You get to pick if you know which ones they are. And there are some pretty cool ones this week, and they're not just sort of preordained like the previous times they've had this out. Also, they still have right now the Mammoth Bundle going on. Keep in mind, some of these packs are going obsolete shortly as far as the standard goes, but will keep up in Wild. But the Mammoth Bundle includes, and you might have to help me out here so I can remember all these. It's the last 3 expansions. So, Ungoro, Lich King, and Kobolds and Catacombs. Right?
I think so.
Yep, and you get 10 packs of each for $19.99. So, the per pack price is phenomenal if you are willing to spend the cash on it. But as Mammoth phases out, obviously Ungoro will be first to fall after. I think Gadget Zan's going to go out of style soon, and Karazhan, which, I mean, we've been used to that meta for a little better, almost a year now, and it's been pretty intense. But as they nerf these things, if you have some of those legendaries that are getting nerfed, you get the full refund cost. So you can melt your Patches the Pirate and Raza the Unchained for full cost, which is pretty good if you dust stuff and build stuff again.
Yeah. And I make jokes, but I will admit it's a great deal. Even if the 20 other packs that you're not going to really use weren't there, 10 packs for $20 is... I mean, that is a little bit more expensive than normal, but it's still right there close to normal, so you get all these other cards that you can just disenchant if you feel like. So yay,
absolutely.
Worst case, yay, free dust. Well, worst case is, why did I buy these? I don't play this game. But barring that, where you actually play the game, yay, free dust if you buy these.
Well, even so, yeah, it's been fun. It's been fun. I had about a week off, but I did get back. I got as high as 12 in last season, which is last month, and then this season I got back to 15, which is the ratchet point. So I can't lose any more ranks than 15. I haven't really. We're not part of the new. They haven't switched over to the new system where you just go back. A couple of ranks. Yeah. Right. So I don't have a ton of interest yet until maybe a week or so from now in trying to grind higher than 15 or lower than 15, as it were. Because my big push is if I can get to 10. And I could if I put the time into it, but I'd have to study. I'd have to go check out like Mage of Death and Disguised Toast and Day 9 and sort of watch what those guys are doing and tweak my decks a bit. But they're still playing Patches and Raza pretty heavy until all that dust is settled, as it were. Yeah,
I know. In my case, I have actually been playing regular quick play or whatever it is, ranked play. I've got all the way up to 21, I think, because I don't have any cards from the last 3 expansions. So I've just been using the quote-unquote classic deck that they have as an option, and I'm winning 1 out of every 6, maybe. But I'm so low ranked that I don't lose rank. But the only reason I was
Face Hunter, you can get by with classic.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only reason I was even doing that is because of that contest that we covered last week. You weren't here, Gal, with the the money prize.
3,000. Yep.
Yeah, the money prize, the Lich King helmet, which I would totally wear in public.
I think I probably would too. It won't fit on my head, I'm sure.
No. It definitely wouldn't fit on your ego. That was not a euphemism. But yeah, I mean, all that fun stuff. And let's see.
Well, the 2018 Spring Hearthstone Collegiate Championship starts on Monday. So I don't know enough to ask any questions about that, but I am kind of interested in seeing how that goes.
I hope they actually provide some feedback on how that goes, because they don't tell you much unless you're following Overwatch. How is Overwatch going?
It seems to be doing fairly well. They just finished their stage 1, in which the Curse of Epic Fail happened, where I claimed 3 teams were going to be there. 1 didn't even make the playoffs. Then I claimed out of who did go, this 1 team was going to win. They didn't even make the playoffs. So then when we finally got into the tournament itself, I was like, oh, New York is up 2-0 against London. Apparently New York's just going to keep winning. Then they got reverse swept. So I was like, well, it ain't a BlizzCon prediction, and it wasn't Sombra, so apparently... yeah.
That's what I like about esports, is that the guys that you think are going to win, yet somehow there's so many upsets that happen. I mean, there's, I don't know, 4 or 5 that have happened just in the past couple of weeks in Starcraft. And every game has them. It's strange, but it's fun because you can never be sure.
Yeah, I mean, there are times where I will just use Seoul Dynasty as the example because they were the ones who didn't make it into the Overwatch playoffs for stage 1. It's like, it's a gimme game for them. And then they got upset. Well, clearly they weren't taking it seriously. So, you know, that kind of stuff could factor in too, but, you know. The good news...
Did you guys talk about the signings last week?
We had mentioned, at least, we mentioned Grigari?
Gaguri?
Gaguri?
It's Gaguri. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Well, see, I find all this interesting because of the signing windows and stuff that's going on with the Overwatch League, and kind of seeing how those teams are developing in between Season 1 and 2. And obviously in not Season 2, in Stage 2, the Mercy changes are going live, right?
The ones that are in the game, Mercy and Reaper changes are going to be in, yeah.
Yeah, so... Well, you're busy, Draven.
Yeah, he's gone.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's the 3rd thing he sent, trying to get through. Anyway, go ahead.
I was going to say, Overwatch Leagues, my favorite thing that they did after week 1 is they started broadcasting replays of the game. Because week 1, I made time to watch. The next week, I was too busy. And so what I did catch is a bunch of those replay channels where I was able to watch some of those really... Dang, they had some epic games in week 3. So I like how they're obviously on point with Overwatch right now, Overwatch League, as far as being able to put that out there for people to consume.
Yeah. You know what else is great about Overwatch right now?
The special... It's so if you don't own it yet...
So if you don't own it and you want it on any platform that it's currently on, you can play it for free all weekend long.
Nice.
Like right now, this weekend, right now. So if you're watching live, you can be playing Overwatch even if you don't own Overwatch. If you're watching or listening after the fact, probably not.
Oh, and there's a sale.
The funny thing is that not only is it free, it's also half off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Rabbi Tuckman's circumcisions.
Galv.
Yeah.
I'm the one who makes the bad puns here.
That's
Galv,
right.
you make the good puns.
That's
There's
right.
a
I make the good puns.
Okay. No, you don't make the good puns. You just make puns. So basically what you're saying is not only can you play it for free, but if you play it and like it, you get to pay less money than someone like me who bought it before it was out.
Probably got the deluxe collector's bundle.
Yeah, I spent the extra money on the digital version. I didn't buy the box because it was a shooter and I wasn't sure. But it was a Blizzard game, so I had to have it.
And it had a Winston pet.
I didn't give a crap about the Winston pet. That was a bonus, I will admit.
Got that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm still not happy about that Reaper skin.
Which one?
The pre-mask.
Mm.
Right.
I bought a bunch of loot boxes a couple weeks ago for Overwatch, and I got super lucky, and I had immense happiness come out of that bunch of loot boxes. It was great. So I'm quite happy with Overwatch right now. I got almost everything I wanted. So I love loot boxes. I don't care what game they're in. I just do.
I struggle with loot boxes. I jump back and forth on them because I get why they're doing it, but at the same time, can I just like buy the one thing I want?
Well, I mean, you mentioned this, and it's not specific to Overwatch, but in Hawaii, not only has this come up, but senators in Hawaii have introduced additional legislation referring to the ESRB to go and look at games with regards to loot boxes and whether or not they should be classified for age 21 plus just because they have loot boxes. I'm not super sure that that's the right way to go, frankly, but I understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to keep kids from falling into gambling-like addictive behaviors. And
it's totally gambling and addictive because
yes.
I totally am into those for no reason at all.
I don't fall into that. I mean, I can see it being classified as gambling, but at the same time, with what Gab was saying, label them as 21 plus. I don't see that as the break point of the issue. Sure, make it 16 or 18 to be able to buy. I got no problem with that. You put in an age verification and all that fun stuff. Make it so you have to actually do that, but
it's not treating the source. If someone's got a gambling addictive personality, it's not going to stop them.
Age has no bearing on it. And I know people in their 30s, 40s, even 50s that can't figure out that, oh, maybe I shouldn't gamble this week because then I can't eat.
Mm-hmm.
Or
yeah,
if I gamble too much, I might not be able to have this goofy-looking wall behind me.
Right. Well, I mean, I like Overwatch the best as far as loot box models go because it doesn't affect game playability. So, skins are something we like, we desire, we chase. It doesn't mean you have a competitive edge. In most cases, I suppose it's so insignificant that no one's going to say that the color of the skin you play in the game, is harder to see or, makes it tougher to shoot at or something like that.
Actually, there are skins in Overwatch in particular that go well with certain maps. So
sure.
You could go so far as to say a little camouflagey type thing. And they just added that whole, you can pick your skin when you pick your character for that map. So
right.
I mean, it'll be minuscule, like you said, because it's not like, oh, I can't see this person at all now. But
it's not a 5% range damage increase because you acquired the right card from a loot box.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all cosmetic, but let's face it, that's the world we live in. Everything seems to be all about the cosmetic and nothing else.
But that's good, though, because the way they're monetizing all this, keep it cosmetic.
Yeah. No, that's not... In games, I mean, that's fine. I got no problem with that. But I'm not talking just in games whenever I say everything is all cosmetic. Sure. In games, that's the perfect way to do it. Don't sell me power boosts. Okay, you don't sell me item level boosts for Warcraft. Don't sell me stuff like that. Keep it all cosmetic, nothing player power. But level boosts from 1 to whatever the max is, you could argue that one, but at the same time, that's not really... All that's doing is letting you get up to current content. You're not going to be good... Like current... Right now, you do a boost, you get 870 gear. Okay. You need to go get gear now. That's fine. I'm okay with that. You'll learn to play as you go, unless you already have one of that class, or in my case, 4. But anyway, just don't make it so that you're paying for I can kill you now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, I don't have anything else for Overwatch, but I've been looking at this graphic you've got up, and it looks really familiar.
Which graphic?
The tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
What's that about?
Well, tombstone is what happens when things die.
Mm-hmm.
But to get over that, we'll have to talk some Warcraft stuff. And since Galv decided to bring it up, I was going to wait a little bit and talk about some other things first, but we can go out of order. That's fine.
What? What do you want to talk about before that? Oh, I see.
Yeah, there's only
Never
like
mind.
3 things in front of it. We can go out of order. It's fine. We're caught up at fail on purpose. So that graphic that Gal was so nice to point out is over that way. Tombstone with the little first aid. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got it reversed here. You got mirror image.
Well, it's a Skype thing. But
Yeah. I use it so little I didn't actually recognize it, but it's the icon for the
Squirrel!
first aid profession.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
so it's not spoilery. We don't know 100% if it's going to happen, but right now,
They've got 6 months to change their minds.
yeah, they've got plenty of time to change their mind. I'm kind of hoping they don't. All the first aid achievements are getting moved to feats of strength, and the new first aid stuff is going to be put into tailoring as opposed to first aid. So it looks like they might be possibly getting rid of first aid because so many people bother with it outside of going after the achievements.
I use it every single month at the Dark Moon Fair to get myself Dark Moon tickets and to help get XP for my lower level characters. So I am going to hate and miss this very, very much, whatever it was.
I think they could have done this better. I think that first aid would be a spot where there should be a defibrillator with like a really long cooldown at the top of first aid that's got like a raid cooldown timer. So if you got one person left and that person's got the the resuscitate first aid skill, they could do a non-combat res even if they don't have a spell for it. I think
I would think
things
even
like that
as a combat res, it just will have like a cast time of a couple seconds.
Yeah, like the survival knife, exactly. I think that's one of the things they missed, or something for raid recovery. First aid could be.
If you have max first aid, you might be able to self-res after a wipe.
Right. Or how about this? What if you have max first aid? One of the things reduces your res sickness if you use an ability on cooldown. Like let's say you're out farming and you get.
Who takes res sickness outside of, oh crap, I fell asleep at the keyboard or I AFK'd and now I'm out past the water and I can't get to my body?
Well, but my point is people intentionally don't. But what if it expedited the game some way so that, like, if you're stuck getting corpse farmed by a PvPer or something like that, you might choose to take res sickness. And there's different first aid related things that they could have been doing.
I see where you're going, but starting next expansion, that's not going to be an issue with the PvPer. You will have to toggle PvP on, and then everyone else will have PvP toggled on. Everyone that you see.
I play on a PvP server, that's why.
Currently.
Yeah.
But starting next expansion, they're all PvP or PvE, whichever you decide. So.
Yeah.
I personally will be leveling with PvP turned off.
It's probably a good idea unless part of the game, part of the expansion integrates PvP.
It probably will, but I mean, unless it's quote-unquote mandatory, and I know that's not the correct word, but I'm using it anyway, I'm not going to bother with it. I will probably be one of the first people to get to max level. That being said, I'm not really worried about getting ganked, especially since I'm on an Alliance-heavy server on my Alliance and a Horde-heavy server for my Horde. So I'm not worried about that. It's just more of a I don't want to have to deal with it. So I'm not going to. But yeah, like I said, we don't know. First aid may be going bye-bye. All signs are currently pointing to it going bye-bye because outside of Alisaunder, your example of Dark Moon Fair, achievements have been it for, especially for me, for a while. Like, I'll make the bandages and I'll send them to an alt that can use them at low level, so I can be like, one tick, oh, full health, okay, go.
What if you made like a first aid kit and like you could deploy it on the ground during a raid or something, and people who walk over it get healed? You know, it's like
the Druid Circle.
Well, yeah, but like a one shot. If you step on it, you get the heal, and there's a small debuff that goes on you that says you only get the effect once during the duration.
But they expressly don't want that to happen. They want to limit the number of classes that can do a certain thing. So, like heals, if everyone can heal because they have bandages or whatever, then that takes away from the specialness of the healers, whoever they are.
Oh, I will still want healers in my raid. Even if I can...
Oh, sure.
I mean, I play a paladin, I can self-heal for days.
But they want you to bring the healers, not bring a box of bandages.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, if you could put a first aid kit on the ground, for example, and then during the fight, it would be like a heal potion where once during the fight, if you stepped on one, you could get a one-time heal that fight for, you know...
I mean, if it got rid of the healing potion, like, you can't... Like, if that's out there instead of the healing potion... Maybe.
Right. That could be on the same timer as the healing potion, for example.
Well, no, I mean you don't. You get that they're not doing a new healing potion. It's that thing instead.
Oh, sure, something like that. Like so, it would be the same timer, or maybe not. But I'm thinking there's different ways that you could keep first aid in the game, make it marginally relevant, and
you
still
need it though. I mean, if to be raid ready, you've already got to do so much stuff every week. You get your food, you get your potions, you get your buffs, you get your whatever that inscription thing was for the bosses. You know, there's so much stuff you already have to do. Do you really need to add one more thing?
Well, I know in my case...
yes, it'd be nice, but do you really need it?
In my case, I'll message Gal once in a while. I'm like, hey, do you have food for this week? Can I get you to make potions because I didn't buy them off the auction house?
Right.
But I do provide mats for potions when I ask for them. So.
Yep. Or you pay on the high side if you just don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Which generally, whenever I buy, I use mats. I'm like, hey, can you make me about 600 potions? I don't want to have to worry about them for the rest of the week. That's an exaggeration. That would take me at least 2 months. Probably.
I get what you're saying, Alisaunder. I kind of like first aid, but
I like that it's there.
It's been irrelevant for so long.
I mean, outside of, I can't remember the last time I actually bothered using it. Outside of because I could.
I know when it was. They introduced a self heal for hunters. The whatever the one is where it's like. Yep. Before they had that, I would bandage in between fights when I was out questing all the time.
Yep.
All the time.
And food. Always had food.
Yep. The
main
generic
character,
food
paladin, self-heal. Second character, mage, can make food. Third character, death knight, tank, blood.
Yep.
Self-heal.
Warlocks.
I got one of them too.
Life tap. You got one of everything, Raven.
I've got more than one of everything. Max level, I've got one of everything and then some, but like I've got 3 paladins, 4, 5 demon hunters, just because they were so quick to get to 110. And I was building up my army for Valentine's Day. Now I don't have to worry about that anymore. Thank you.
Well, before we do leave this topic, I just want to point out that one of my favorite quests is actually a first aid quest. It was out in
Triage.
Or at the Highlands. Yeah, exactly. You know the one.
Absolutely.
There's not much like it. It's whack-a-mole, but it's fun. And
it's gone now, isn't it?
I think it might be.
Yeah, I think Cataclysm got rid of it.
I kind of wish it wasn't. No, I think it's been there since Cataclysm.
It was there
but I think it was taken out sometime.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was there before Cataclysm. Either way, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure it's gone now because my...
Basically, what it was is that you would go out. There would be these wounded people of various stages. Some would be mildly hurt, some greatly hurt, and they would get worse as time went on. And so you had to run around this room, try and keep as many of them alive as you could to get them out, and then more would spawn. And you had to do, I don't know, maybe
the
10 people.
Critical ones first, then the gravely injured, then the was that in there?
It was trying to teach you literally triage.
Hammerfall
out in Arathi.
Yeah.
I know it's gone now because I think it's my Nightborn. Yes, my Nightborn. Is actually hearthing at that area at the moment. So.
An illusion.
What are you hiding?
Love that name.
I know, it's great.
It's a good one.
I have my moments. I will say that. I have my moments. Generally, they're not very good moments, but I have my moments. Speaking of moments in time. Like time walking and raiding and Oduar.
Oh.
Favorite song. I love that video.
Time after time?
No, Oduar.
The song
by Cranius and by Cranius and I can't remember her name at the moment, but it's a really good song.
Is that one of those WoW parody type things?
Kinda.
Charm?
No, not Charm.
Then I don't know.
Yeah. I could Google it, but it doesn't matter. Go on.
Well, anyway, it's Time Walking Week. Wrath of the Lich King, first time, Oduar. I'm not going to go into the strats and all that because that would take forever, and we've already been going for a bit. But I will say, I found it funny that they had to hotfix the mount drop back into Time Walking. It wasn't there until, I believe, Thursday night, Friday morning, somewhere around there. Maybe they didn't think that anyone would go for Zero Light Yogg and Time Walking, which to me was... Of course someone's going to go for that. Worst case, that's an extra chance at a mount that probably isn't going to drop. But it wasn't even listed in the dungeon journal, so people are like, can it drop? I was like, oh crap, go. Maybe we should make it possible.
I can go check that out. All the War I think I've only been through once ever.
Well, I know. Sorry, podcast people, but I'm just going to talk raid for a minute. We're going tomorrow night for our raid team, so that'll be fun. I went on my mage. We had some issue with Crazy Cat Lady. I don't know her name.
In chat, Wicked Kitten.
No, not her.
Oh.
The Crazy Cat Lady in Oduar. And
sure, I don't know.
Yeah, other than that, as long as someone in the group knows and it can explain briefly the fights, you shouldn't have any issues up until Yogg. And then we think Yogg was bugged on Tuesday. So, who knows?
For a while, that was one of my favorite Hearthstone cards.
It's still one of my favorite Hearthstone cards.
Every time I see it played in the last 6 months, it's killed whoever played it. It's been so bad.
Yeah.
What? You're fine.
So yeah, go check that out if you want. It's dropping 9:30 here, so it looks like they're keeping up with at least normal. Whatever the current rate is, will be the Time Walking rate a gear. So that's good. You know what else is good?
You're going to tell me.
Yes, I'm going to tell you. They finally fixed the mobile app so that you can get the armory to work, which means mobile auction house is back.
What?
And the goblins rejoiced as the skies parted. You might
I'll be busy.
Put it down.
I'll be with you in a minute.
You didn't put anything up for auction. You're not making any gold. No one wants your garbage.
Ooh, it's working. Yes.
I told you.
Let's see. So, what have I got? Carry on. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I love that he's smiling. I haven't seen him smile quite like this in quite a long time.
Who, Galf?
Yeah. It's like Christmas over there.
Well, he's
It's
usually, whenever you see him,
beginning
he's dealing with me and not making gold. So that's why he's
yeah. These things. I got defiled augment runes I can sell because sell all. Yes. Because I got the thing. Don't need them anymore. Okay, what else are we gonna sell?
Bandages. They're about to go away. That makes them rare.
No one buys them.
Make some bandages, hold on to them, and be like, hey, you can't get these anymore.
You know what? I have that on my Horde Hunter. I've still got all of my. I've told you guys this story. I've still got all of his original level 60 epic quest stuff from Molten Core. The Rodelacar bow that switches into it used to switch into a staff. He's still got the lamellar quiver equipped with all the. What was it? The original Karazhan ammunition, because you had to get the Violet Eye ammunition, and he's still got the 2 one-handed Conquest Season 1 axes equipped, also with the bow. Which, if I unequip them, I can't put them back on again. So I just leave him like that.
Yeah. I don't need to play this character ever again.
I still have stacks of arrows, just because.
Paladin
exactly.
My Paladin has Librams for the old buffs.
I have Librams. Yep,
I've got
Librams.
I've got feathers on characters. I mean, if it's something that used to need for a buff, I've got them in my bank somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
In one of my banks, and I'm not getting rid of them.
I'll go find it for you.
I figure eventually I can put one on the auction house out of my stacks of them, like 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks of each individual thing for the buff.
Like a Felbat?
And just, I don't have that.
But see, they're not useful is the problem. So
it doesn't matter.
It's a
They're
memory.
rare. It's like Tibu's Blazing Sword. It's garbage, but it's the only one that looks like that. But only slightly now, so whatever.
Yeah, to be honest, a lot of the early armor is kind of crap, but
if you look
it's
at
so rare. If you were walking around in a full set of Tier 3 that really was Tier 3, I mean, nobody else is going to have that. Partly because it's ugly, but partly because it's just nobody's got that.
The
got
pixel
that.
count on it, I can see them.
Man, Osmond Gold just absolutely ripped one of my guildmates in Vex, and one of the criticisms is you got to pay attention to the pixel count when you're picking these things out, because it may be the same color, but it is not going to match.
This one is curved. This one is zigzag. But yeah.
All right.
I kind of wish, to get slightly off topic, because you did give me permission, that because Blizzard was complaining about having to make all these new armor sets that no one is going to wear because we're all just going to transmog it to something else, which is probably true. Not always, but probably true. But if they would just make sets in different colors to match other colors, so we could have more opportunities to have like purple or pink or something, because there's just not a lot of purple out there if I want to make a purple set, because my hunter just got a purple pet. I just got Chromagus today. So now I clearly have to go out and make a purple transmog set. I need more purple in my transmog, please, Blizzard. So don't buy me new things, just give me more things in purple. Thank you. And also pink, because there's not much pink around.
I may be guilty of such things also, where I went to my transmog hoping to find a certain outfit combination that I could use since I got the Love Rocket. I was looking for something.
You picked the skimpiest thing you could find.
No, actually, I've been wearing that for a while. But I was looking for something kind of a pinkish color to go with the mount.
You know, they should just have a piece of armor equipped, and that piece of armor should be called butt floss.
They don't
I
let
actually-
you hide pants.
When I did the gnome run last year, I did it on my pink rocket with the pink hair and all that, so I was going for a pink theme, and it was really hard to find anything in pink, so I found this scale mail that's mostly silver, but slightly pinkish, and some like kind of lavender bits that would kind of work with it, because it was so hard. I just went with a pink tabard. That was the tabard kind of pulled it all together, but it's hard, really is.
Yeah, there's some pink armor out there, very little in plate. So I just stuck with yellow. I'm almost. I've got one more piece for that Gloria set, which is the bright yellow. I the pants, but they were like 200,000 gold. I'm like, I ain't paying that for those pants. That ain't worth it.
There is a lot of
paid for those pants.
There is a lot of really good transmog that already exists. It's just the wrong color.
Just the wrong color, or the drop rate is you have to kill this entire zone 37 times, and then you have a 1% chance. That's like, Liz, I've already got the rocket. You don't need to lower the drop rates anywhere else. But speaking of transmog, and by that I mean where you can get some of it. Like dungeons.
Can we talk about my favorite transmog that came out this week?
No.
Aw.
What transmog?
Lunar Festival has 4 new hats.
Oh yeah.
They're
actually
new hats. Like
crowns of
new.
flowers.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, they're like wreaths of flowers. They're very, very pretty. They come in 4 sets of colors, one of which is pink. There's like a black and a red one for kind of gothy ones. There's kind of a pale ivory-ish, and what was the other one? Red? Like red roses? They're very, very cool. Yeah, it was just put up on Wowhead like 4 hours ago. So
I'm checking it out right now.
Yeah.
Oh, I see it. Oh,
Yeah.
Those are nice. Crown of Good Fortune, Crown of Courage, Crown of Prosperity, Crown of Dark Blossoms.
Mhm.
Now, Dark Blossoms would go excellent for like a Sylvanas or a Black Roses.
So my question...
With little red like poppies or pansies or something to give it a little pop. But yeah, they cost 25 coins of ancestry each, and I am totally doing that. I was going to do it anyway on my lower levels because it's good XP, but I want these crowns.
So I have a question. Are they all 100% cosmetic, as in my paladin can wear any of those color variants?
Yes.
Just like my mage could wear any of those color variants.
It's a cosmetic item, not listed as mail, plate, cloth, whatever.
Okay, that's better, because
I
there are
have
cosmetic items that are listed as plate cosmetic.
Right. I have a question for you, Draven. With the new level scaling, how good are these Lunar Festival quests for people you're leveling up?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you about Lunarfest just yet, because I haven't done it yet. That being said, with the Valentine's Day one, I was running on alts and lobies, and just the dungeon alone was like 1/3 a level at minimum.
Is there a Lunar Festival? No, there's not a dungeon.
A dungeon?
Festival.
No, but there is quests. There are quests,
Yeah,
I should say.
The
Do they still
elders.
do
I don't think you
They
can
still
go.
do the lake event?
I don't think lobies can get that quest, but I'm sure they could attempt to hit it and die in the process.
I do know when I was doing the Valentine's just quests like throwing chocolate last week, I was getting about 2 bubbles of XP around level 20-ish or so. So not bad
Yeah,
for something that simple.
Yeah, I was leveling with someone on my Void Elf, and we went through a dungeon, and they turned in a quest that I didn't, which was worth about half a level. So since then, I've been about a half a level behind. So I did some of these quests just to catch up, and they're still ahead of me, but not as much. So I'll probably do a couple of these lunar things just to catch up.
So the reason I asked is because this post says, originally posted by Blizzard, holiday dungeons are now available to all players starting level 20. Items that drop from these dungeons will scale to your current level. In addition, keep an eye out for new items in many upcoming holidays, such as the new Lunar Festival hats. It was in the same sentence as dungeons. but I don't think they mean that to be a drop from a dungeon.
No, it's not a drop from dungeon. You have to pay for them off a vendor.
Coin of Ancestry. Now, those don't carry over from year to year either, because I used to stash those for the next year.
Yeah, they do.
Do they?
Oh, wait, yeah, they're the green kind of jade one. Yeah.
Yeah, they carry.
Yep, they do.
I think I have enough on 3 of my characters. I could probably go and buy 3 of the hats. Because I just never buy them because there's never a need because I bought everything.
Well, they did have fireworks that put up an image of kind of like the Horde symbol or the Alliance Lion.
Yeah, those are pretty
Is that
cool.
new? Because that just seemed really appropriate for a Battle of Azeroth.
I know there's a
I thought those were a year ago.
That might have been last year or the year before, but yeah.
They're pretty cool, though.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to get those.
If it's a toy that's been in the game for a while, if it's just a regular firework, then they might be new. But
I think they said firework, but but yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That's my thing tomorrow. Is XP and crowns.
Yep. Speaking of XP, since that's what I was gonna go to before you were like hats.
But hats.
It was fine. I wasn't complaining. I was just simply pointing out.
Squirrel!
Yay! Yeah.
Squirrel!
Much. Yep.
Do you see what I do when I do that, Alisaunder?
I
look down to your corner of the screen.
I love that picture.
Short version is stop taking high-level players to run you through dungeons because you're getting a lot less XP.
Yeah.
The power leveling
that
is...
with my group this week. It was bad.
Yeah. So basically Blizzard is saying, we want you to actually play our content and not power level this way. If you want a power level, here's a nice little boost for $60.
Mm-hmm.
I was running some friends through like lower level dungeons this week, and we weren't trying to power level the lower ones. We were just literally trying to play with our friends. We just happened to bring the characters that we felt like playing, and like I was a warlock, we had a hunter, we had a mage. We were all over the place level wise, and we thought with the scaling, it wouldn't matter, but it did. It was like a horrible impact on our lowest level people. So we had to stop. We couldn't play together.
See, I find that somewhat flawed. I would think that the scaling should be intended so that everyone's having the same level of difficulty hitting the same enemy in a scaled area. Within a certain reason.
So the way the scaling works is certain areas only scale so far, up and down both. So, if you're in that general area, then it should scale with you, yeah. But if, let's say, I've got a 110, oh look, my level 20 friend is playing, there is no content we can both play outside of an event, like the Valentine's Day event. We can't do anything outside of those together.
Well, we weren't 110s, we were, I'm
just using that
somewhere
as an
between
example.
20 and 80, but yeah.
Well, I get your point, Draven. And they obviously want you to play a similar level to the each other. Within tolerance. I think especially with the way scaling goes this today, if someone starts a new character like Lightforged or whatever, they were already on level 60 before I even started mine.
I know some people with an allied race that have 3 of them max level already. I'm just like, I got better things to do.
I've seen a couple of them in raids already.
You can even if you don't like level 1 up, you can race change to them. So.
Oh yeah.
So that doesn't mean a whole lot. Like I know a mage friend of mine is considering turning into a void elf because they think they look cool.
There are certain advantages too. The void elves magic, whether you ignore cast interrupts when you get damaged.
Yeah, there's a few advantages. There's a few disadvantages, and we went back and forth on it. Namely, the rep gain coming up because you're going to need it in next expansion. Because we're going to be grinding rep again.
And again.
Sorry, Alisaunder, that's a spoiler.
What was that?
She's not even paying attention to you.
I was just saying
I'm talking about Translog with the chat room.
Yeah. No, I was just mentioning things like we're going to be having rep grinds again next expansion. The same thing as every other expansion. I was like, oh, sorry, spoiler.
Yeah,
Spoiler.
surprise.
Yeah, surprise. You have to run another another set of reps to get to grind out.
I expect that.
Yeah, but in terms of the dungeon thing, I think they just want the huge differences to go away. They want people a little closer together in level.
Well, there's a way around that. They're kind of like they're doing with Professions next expansion. Surprise!
Squish.
Wish. Make everybody 100 except for the people that want to level, and they can level
But
from
then
there.
they won't make money on the character boosts. I'm not saying that's the only reason. That's the cynical side saying that there's also some people actually want to level all their characters from 1 to 110.
I'll boost a couple. Well, here's the thing: is I've got a bunch mid-level, but I've got a 100 boost and a 110 boost I haven't used yet. I don't use them often.
My boosts have all been due to purchases of expansions.
Right. Me too.
So
I only did a boost once, and that was an emergency because I needed to have a character and had not planned ahead.
Yeah,
and I did
mine
not
was
want to do
similar.
a server transfer.
Yeah. I think I boosted up either a hunter or I think I boosted up a DK on Horde side to 80 back when the boost was to 80 because a friend of mine wanted to play over there, and I'm like, well, I don't have a character on your server, but I know how to play this blood DK real easy, so I just character up to raid level over there and was up and running super short, but that's it.
yeah.
I like the idea of just friends playing together. It seemed like a good idea to me.
Yeah, and it's not. I don't think they're trying to dissuade that in particular. It's more.
It certainly feels like it,
It
though.
feels like that, and it feels like you're getting punished, and I understand that. But I think a lot of what they're looking at is people are either with real money or with gold paying higher level people to run them through things to speed up their own leveling process. It is not people playing with friends. Unfortunately, they had to make an adjustment somewhere, so people playing with friends ended up getting a little bit hit with it.
So I'm going to have to level up my first aid here while we're talking because it's going away, and I want the achievements.
Well, they'll become feats of strength, so you're going to lose the points anyway.
But
they'll be a feats of strength forever.
Yeah, then they'll be in feats of strength and legacy, and they won't be worth anything. But you can link them, be like, I was there when, kind of like knuckle sandwich.
It's like it's like the last night when we had weapons, and I sat out there on 7 characters punching flowers in wintergrass to get the feat of strength before it went away, and I did it.
I have those on my old characters, but I don't think they carried over.
No, they didn't. But every time I fly over that wintergrass, I look down those flowers and I remember, and I'm proud that I did that.
See, there's all sorts of those little goofy things that we did.
There when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love how your picture keeps cutting to a squirrel, Draven.
Who says I'm not the squirrel? This you see here, this is just an AI construct. This isn't me. I'm not going to show the real me in public. What do you think I am, crazy?
It's like the Men in Black dog behind you. There's actually like a little squirrel inside controlling your movements, puppeteer style.
Anyway. Speaking of Men in Black, that almost works.
I can't wait to see where this segue is going.
That almost works. I mean, it's more purple than black, but the
heritage armor.
The heritage armor.
That was a segue to the heritage armor.
Hey, I use what
you figured it out, Gal.
I use what I'm handed. I didn't say I use it well.
You know, that's like getting a train to its destination faster by dropping out of an airplane.
Well, it would get there faster. Not in one piece, but it would get there faster. Mission completed.
Heritage armor.
Yeah, heritage armor.
We get a cloak, and we also get more gold in our gold.
They're adding more pretty to the pretty, or
it actually is. I like it.
Yeah, Is it the Void Elf or the Nightborn that got the cloak? I don't have the link up.
I don't remember. It was shown from back, so who really knows?
Yeah, they all look the same to me.
Well, according to my copy paste, it says Void Elf Heritage Armor.
Yeah.
Now includes the Rendorai cloak.
Okay, so Void Elf.
So,
yay! Get there, you get a cloak. Yay, more transmog that can only be used on a Void Elf.
yeah, I don't usually use cloaks very much, but I do like the Lightforged Draenei Heritage Armor.
I am not a huge fan of the Lightforged armor just because it looks almost exactly the same as the Argus dropped armor, the Unsullied. The
But I'm
880.
okay with that because I just want the armor we have in more colors.
Yeah, and there you go. They listened ahead of time.
Thank you, Blizzard.
Yeah, they knew you were going to ask for that, so they're like, here you go.
I like transmog, but I don't spend a whole lot of time on it. It's deceptive. Like
Go ahead.
I was on this one character, and I went through my transmog journal looking for something I could wear that would make an outfit, and I found it. Went and bought it on the auction house, and it was the wrong. It was leather and not mail, so I couldn't wear it.
That's the worst. I put on
Sucks to
gorgeous
be you.
cloth things occasionally on my druid, and it's like, oh, I didn't realize I didn't look.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I look in the appearance tab, and
That's where I got it from.
okay. So I'm not under it showed you armor in your appearance tab that you couldn't use.
Oh no, I can use it because as male, I can equip leather.
But it
So it's
shouldn't
something
be
I
in
could
your. It
actually
shouldn't
put
show up in your appearance tab, though. Is what I'm saying.
But it did. That's
in
what I'm
wardrobe.
saying.
But then you might want to report a bug because it shouldn't.
Well,
have been
but I'm
there.
pretty sure it was intentional because it was the safari hat. The
that's a toy.
pimp hat. No, it's a pimp hat.
Oh, pimp hat.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's different. The
Well,
safari
right,
hat's something
but-
else.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. The safari hat, but it's like the zebra style. So I had the Crocodile Dundee look going on for my hunter, and I wanted the wide brim hat to go with it. And I'm looking through the appearance tab. Oh, great! Go to the auction house, buy one for like $6,000 gold because they're ridiculously overpriced on purpose.
Yeah.
But then when I would put it on, I couldn't transmog it on. I had to just equip it. Ooh.
Working as intended.
Ugh.
I actually have mistakes like that. I stuck them in my void storage on the theory that probably in about 5, maybe 6 BlizzCons, they will relent and let us have more transmog from other class types.
Maybe.
Just count as learned.
Do a quest. You can learn this type, but you can only pick 2. Out of
Or
the
maybe
other
just
3.
make it bind on account or something. So maybe I could then send it to, something.
There's a couple things I keep hoping that they're gonna make bind on equip, like a certain mount that I have 7 of in my, not my void storage, but in my bank. I keep hoping it's gonna eventually turn into a bind on equip mount, but it never does. I think it's the Easter mount, the ugly chicken.
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, I got 7 of them, and I don't want to delete them because there is the chance, but it's not happening. You know what is happening, though?
I'm gonna look and tell you. Oh yeah. I texted you about this, didn't I?
No, you didn't text me.
The countdown?
No, you're too far. Move
Too
up
far?
a couple.
Move up a couple.
Move up 1, actually. MDI. It's coming back! And just for a point of clarification, you did not text me because you do not have my phone number.
No, it's Discorded you or whatever.
You said texted.
Well,
I knew what you
generally
meant,
sent you
but...
I sent you a message entirely composed of text.
So the Mythic Dungeon Invitational is returning.
Yes, it's coming back.
Proving
Sign-ups.
Grounds period picks off on February 27th at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
and ends March 13th. Hurry now.
Yes. So get
Supplies are
get those sign-ups in there because I want to see some names I know, and not just from streamers and method and stuff like that. CTR, we have 7,000 people. 7,000 tunes, 5,000 people, something like that. I don't remember. I'm sure we can get a group of 5 or 6 people to do this.
Yeah,
it ain't gonna be me. It ain't gonna be
Say
me. But
in CTR, we've only got 4 good players, and so that's not enough for the full group.
yeah, and none of them are hunters apparently. Sorry, Alisaunder, I had to.
No, it's good.
It's a running joke, but I mean, I play a paladin, so I know all those jokes too.
Oh.
The difference is I can break boss fights and not die.
I take screenshots of that and post them on Twitter because it's funny.
So, completely on an aside, someone asked me what I was looking forward to in next expansion. I was like, I want to see how I can break the next raid boss.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of maybe the next expansion? No, but kind of. We don't know what it's counting down to. It's a countdown, but we don't know. What is this thing, Galv? There's a countdown, but
so,
not really a countdown.
All right. So the Doomsayer dudes, they're on the island.
Broken Shore.
Was it where Legion Fall Island? The Broken Shore. Mm-hmm. There's these dudes, the little collector guys, hunched in a circle, and they're channeling a spell, like summon Doom or whatever. The thing that got everyone's attention was the duration on the spell. It was like thousands of hours. So the last time this happened, it was timed to the drop of a major patch, which was a content patch. So there's a couple of floated theories out there. You might have something more recent than I do, Draven, but they were saying, okay, is this a countdown until the artifact weapons get destroyed? Is this a countdown until the expansion launches, or the soft launch for the expansion? Is this the countdown until the next raid? What it might be. I saw a whole bunch of different theories out there. What have you seen?
Okay, so
I would just like to say that the day in question is Wednesday, March 7th.
Yeah, so it's timing is a little bit weird because most WoW stuff happens on Tuesday and it goes from there. So that's just kind of throwing complete what? But outside of that, since we've had access to see them, there's been either no cast, or if a cast has happened, every single time they've caught it, it has been with something content related. So the current theory is, since the current stuff in Silithus has been kind of like whatever, that's when the next one happens. Like that'll be the next story point, where for cosmetic purposes only, or gameplay purposes, like we're not losing our weapons, we're not losing power in our weapons. In the game, our weapons are being destroyed. For us personally, we get to keep them. So you don't have to go out and collect another whatever weapon. 880 I think is the highest you can actually get, or 930, or if you get lucky enough with a drop.
Right.
So you don't need one of those. You still get your weapon. It is still fully empowered. For story purposes in the game, it's getting blown up.
Yeah, it'll be like a legacy
that's
item.
The theory. So that's what is currently what we were thinking. Like, even the fact that it's on a Wednesday is weird, but at the same time, maybe they're just gonna spread stuff out. So like that Tuesday you get something, that Wednesday this happens, that Thursday is something else. They've done that before too. Only it was a few days apart.
What about this? What if Khadgar and all the others use the power stored in your weapon to heal the wound in Azeroth?
Great! We get a different expansion next time. That's awesome. I guess there's no burning tree, which means we have to stick with Hydro for our raid team name.
I'm just throwing it out there. I'm like, what massive event linked with Sargeras, has been happening? So that's my thought.
Maybe he escapes Illidan and we have to actually take him out.
Crack our weapon right over his skull.
It probably would crack on his skull, actually, yeah.
Well, I did a little research just to find out more about this. So just to be educational here, Zoroth is the homeworld of the Nathrezim. It's actually their second one. Their first was blown up because they're really good at portal magic, which is, we know from Draenor, or at least Outlands, is a really good way to blow up planets. And so they are apparently quite good at that. So,
blowing up planets.
I'm gonna portal this part of the planet over there, this part of the planet over there.
it could be that this is what makes Argus out of our sky, for all we know. I don't know why they would do that. But on the other hand, because they are the Nathrezim, they've had long-standing ties to the Void Lords even before they ran into Sargeras. And so they could be sending it away to the Void for all we know. Or bringing something from the Void to replace it. Who knows? But they've been working for Sargeras because he made them, but their ties to the Void came before that. So interesting stuff could happen.
With Sargeras gone, right? Who do they serve now?
Well, they better start serving me, because I'm hungry. I need my dinner.
I got Leroy so hard the other night. I don't know if you guys saw that. I posted that link. Did you watch that video, Draven? That little clip?
I don't watch anything you post.
Ugh.
I know better.
It was... So, one of our we're doing a normal clear for our guild, Vex, and one of the two tanks, Hiram, had to take his dog out, and we had a new person who was stepping into tank, and so he said, "I just have this other guy tank for a minute while I go play." And we don't have any trouble; it's not going to be a problem. Normal Agrimar, so everything's fine. He gets back mid-fight because we didn't even kick him from the group. And we're just about to get Foebreaker. He's like, "I'm back," and he taunts and just turns Foebreaker right into the whole raid, who are all stacked for Flame Rend, and they just wink out of existence. Boom, all of them gone. And I look at my screen like, what the hell? Just walked right in and taunted the raid to death. It was pretty beautiful.
Yep, we almost, you were there for it, but we almost had our heroic Agrimar kill. Because I was supposed to take one of the things, but my bubble had worn off by the time it hit.
Oh.
So I ended up getting, and I did find out that you will get knocked back if you solo take it with bubble on. Because I found that out in another attempt. But we got it to what, 0.4% or something like that? It was really low.
It was under 0.5 of 1%. Yeah. Yes.
So we're gonna kill him.
Yeah, we might have a good shot at Argus, too. We'll see.
Maybe.
Something else that was kind of interesting is that the Dreadlords were put in charge of the original Lich King to kind of keep him in line. Mm-hmm. So that means that they have had a chance to be messing with his head for quite a long time as well. Because we know that Bolvar is totally on our side, whatever the hell was going
Bolvar
on
is totally sane right now.
In Legion. Yeah.
I love the quest line for the Death Knight.
I have one complaint.
That you didn't actually get to make...
that you didn't actually take Tyrion with you.
Yeah. God. That
was my one...
so awesome. Tell me that would not be like the
there
best
is
ever.
No way that a Paladin and a Death Knight could ever get along after that, unless that Paladin was me. But that would have been the perfect. I understand why they didn't, but...
Actually, instead of Tyrion, I wanted them to go and collect Varian. I know there's not a body, but the original Death Knights were spirits.
You'd have to
put into a weapon, and that made the Death Knight. So you could have gotten Varian that way.
You just go right on over there.
Pissed off a lot of people.
Yep.
You just go right on over, right in front of the raid entrance, where you get to see the little explosion mark and his little boot. You just pour some water on him, and you have rehydrated Varian. You get good to go.
No. So you have to hire an engineer to make you a vacuum, and then you have to go hoover up the dust.
No, you don't need a vacuum. You don't need a vacuum. Get Gen to do it. He's always sniffing. He's a Worgen.
Yeah. So he'll go like do lines of Varian.
Piece of Varian.
I just think Varian as a Death Knight would have been pretty cool.
It would have been interesting. I think they had to...
Then, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I lost my thought.
Well, I was going to say him interacting with Anduin at that point would be... There's a lot there to work with.
In all honesty, though, I think Sylvanas would have got there first as opposed to the Death Knights. And that would have ticked off the Alliance even more, which is kind of why I wanted it to happen, even though I main Alliance tunes.
Uh-huh.
Well, we don't know that she didn't. Not for another 6 months.
No, she didn't. He went splody. He is dehydrated Varian. Speaking of
on to some happier news.
Varian,
Warcraft 3 may be coming to mobile.
Maybe.
What kind of segue is that?
That's an Alisaunder segue. That wasn't where I was going.
It was not bad, actually.
Yeah, it was better than most of mine, but that really doesn't take a whole lot.
This was actually my BlizzCon prediction, was we were going to have Warcraft 3 or Warcraft 4, like Warcraft 3 Remastered or Warcraft 4, or something like that. And so I'm pretty excited for this. But they've been putting out job postings, and they've been hinting all up and down, and Mike Borkheim made some statements in various publications, and so everybody's thinking that this might be a thing.
Yeah, so job listing, unannounced MMO RTS project that required mobile experience. That's the job listing. It's got more requirements to it and all that. 5 years game dev experience, iOS and or Android development experience, etc. and so forth. But on top of that, some Warcraft 3 pros got invited to Blizzard, so they're all getting passports to go to Blizzard later this month for some unknown reason that they're not willing to tell us, because either they don't know or they signed NDAs, which either way would be smart.
NDA.
It's probably both.
They were allowed to say that there is an offline event,
yeah, there's some
and
reason,
that it's a secret.
There's a reason they're going. They're just not allowed to tell us. They either don't know or can't tell us what it is. But they know that something is going on. Current theories are Warcraft remastered for the phone, Warcraft 3 rather, Warcraft 3 plain as it is for the phone. I would imagine probably remastered would go on phone, because it would look. I've seen phone games that have better graphics than Warcraft 3 at this point. Which at the time it was, oh my god, but now it looks kind of like what other games look at Warcraft as. Like, you look like that, really?
I think one of the perks of Warcraft, not to jump back to World of Warcraft, for example, but the non-realistic fantasy cartoonish nature has been able to maintain, even when they increase the pixel counts. Trying not to look too real has probably kept the game fresh relatively longer.
It's helped the game. I wish there was a setting that you could go, I want everything to look real. I don't currently have a computer that can run that. I can run the game on Ultra on everything, with the exception of Sunbeams. I haven't tried. But then I hate Sunbeams.
So if they do that for phone, I think tablet will be fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, I think the tablet applications will be phenomenal.
My only issue is the same as Diablo on mobile. There are too many buttons. Like, they're the shortcut keys. Like, I want to build a barracks. I want to build a command center. I'm using StarCraft terms. I want to build a hatchery. That kind of thing. Your base. Mm-hmm. There are too many commands for it to really work. They might have found a way to do it. I don't know. Maybe it's, unless it's like, hey, we're gonna put Warfronts from WoW into mobile, so you could do them there, but different version of it or something like that. That's
actually my theory, is that it's not going to be mobile, as great as that would be, but this is actually because Warfront is so much like Warcraft 3 that this is some kind of rollout to finally answer all of our questions about Warfront by having these guys that are, the reigning experts.
And then it would be completely unrelated to the job listing. Because that kind of is speculation at this point.
But the job listing doesn't really say what game it's for.
Yeah.
All we know is that Warcraft 3 players are coming.
Yeah, and the job listing
may not be the same.
That's what I mean, though. There's something for Warcraft 3 players, pros, and then this job listing just happens to be for something mobile related, and people are just putting 2 and 2 together and possibly coming up with 5 and not even knowing it.
I have been checking the Twitter because Grubby and Todd were both Warcraft 3 pros. Grubby played orcs and Todd plays humans? I forget. But Todd's currently on vacation, so he's just talking about snorkeling. But if he starts talking about taking a trip to the U.S., I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
Your ears will perk up a bit.
I haven't heard Grubby say anything yet, so...
Not yet. Still got 2 weeks.
I wouldn't be surprised if they had him, just because he's helping them with... Or at least he was. I haven't been paying attention to Open Division for heroes at all, so I don't know if he's still doing that or not.
I think Todd is on the caster list for Katowice, but I don't think that starts until the week after. It depends exactly what they mean by the end of the month.
Yeah. So right now we have a bunch of speculation where the puzzle pieces are there. We think it looks together, but right now it looks like Picasso. Where we don't know if it makes sense, but it looks pretty.
Yeah. I would like seeing. I don't know. Do you think they'd ever do a tie-in or something with phone the way that maybe Fallout did, where they had the Pip-Boy app? Do you know what I'm talking about? So
I don't.
I don't.
I know what you're talking. I just don't know if they do it.
Right, because maybe that would be an interesting tie-in with mobile, where you had some sort of mobile companion app for their RTS that's playable. That gives you a playable something there.
Well, other than maybe Hearthstone, they don't have any new products coming out until maybe the expansion. Yeah, so. To keep their profits up, eventually they've got to go into mobile. They've had the little Garrison apps and stuff like that, but
yep.
Seriously, to get into mobile gaming, it's the obvious thing to do, and Mike Morheim was setting as such, so they just are waiting till the time is perfect.
Have you guys ever played Castle Clash, the Clash of Clans spinoff?
No,
Do you know what I'm
I played
talking
Order
about?
and Chaos.
I've got 2 games on my phone. One is Hearthstone, and the only reason it's there is because Dungeon runs while I'm out and about helping relatives. Like if they have a doctor's appointment, I can play a quick match real quick. And the other... No, I guess I've got 3. Plants vs. Zombies 2.
That's a good one.
I'm not really liking the change because I stopped playing it for a year, and they changed so much. I'm like, love out my plants, no thanks. And then there's Trials Evolution, which is the racing side-scroller where you balance and all that.
Sure. Well, Castle Clash uses it's a Clash of Clans where you had the castles and all the characters and you leveled them up and things like that. But Castle Clash was a 2-lane where your opponent had a castle, you had a castle, and then there's 2 lanes for your minions. And then as you planted structures like a hut for trolls, and trolls would come out 3 at a time and they throw spears and different things like that. The objective was to outplay your opponent so that you destroyed their 3 castles with the same characters that came from the game Clash of Clans. I could see them doing something. I'm totally hypothesizing, but with the intellectual property Blizzard has, they could either do a Heroes of the Storm spiff off of that. It's kind of like an RTS 2-lane game, but they could do something in that vein. I think they've got so much good property and so many opportunities to do something with it with mobile that there could be a lot of different things out there you could do.
And they could even go really old school, like rock and roll racing.
I could see them doing one of those type of games. Rock and roll racing, Blackthorn, whichever one it is. And what was the other one? Lost Vikings. I could see them do that because they're simple in their controls. You move this way, you move this way. They have an ability. I can see that.
But what we all really want is Warcraft, Overwatch, something. Pet battles, fishing, whatever.
Oh, pet battles. Yes.
It won't be pet battles if it's for the Warcraft 3 people. If it's separate, then maybe.
Well, but there's many things they could do.
Yeah, there's tons of things they could do. There's tons of things I would really like them to do. But
yeah, that's the problem with Blizzard is there's so many things that they could do, and if they would, it'd just be, here's my credit card. Just I'll just wait over here.
I don't have a bunch of paper.
And they're the only company that I would do that to.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't have a whole lot of disposable income, and they're the company that gets what I do have for disposable income when I have it.
Yeah.
Like, I keep getting notifications on my Steam, and I'm like, dude, I haven't loaded you in like 6 months. I ain't giving you more money. I don't care that this game that used to be $60 is $5. That is a good deal. I don't play it anyway. Do what?
I like the intrigue. I like they put those two things together and people, they might not even be linked.
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier.
Yeah. But we jump to the conclusions because they're pretty focused.
Well, I mean, it says MMORTS on mobile. Warcraft 3 is a MMORTS. Holy crap, they go together. Well, maybe. So it'll be interesting.
Yes. But Warcraft Secrets Discord, get on it, please. You're slacking.
Yeah. That being said, it has been a long show. So I say, since we've covered all the new stuff and had plenty of rambles in between, we start shutting down, and by that I mean do some shout-outs and how do people get a hold of you, that kind of thing. So, Alisaunder, McSquirrelface.
Yes.
How do people find you on the internet? And if you have any shout-outs, now is the time to give them out.
I won't shout out to you because you're shy and retiring. So, Galv, it's been a pleasure. Chat room,
I'm shy.
Always
what?
A pleasure. Retiring.
I'm retiring?
You just said you're retiring.
Parsimonious doesn't work.
Well, she said retiring, I thought. Like, I am? I'm not tired, like sleep. I'm going to be awake for hours still. I just wanted to make sure I heard you correctly is all. Because it was
me too.
It was either retired or some other not as nice word. I'm not saying it wouldn't be accurate, but
I'm on Twitter occasionally. My handle, you could look for Alisaunder, Alisaunder. I'm on Alisaunder on Warcraft, and I have a blog called From Alisaunder, where I write occasionally speculations and crazy things that I don't dare actually send out to people because I send out enough to them. You can find me on I'm on the Hunting Party podcast, and I just write into podcasts all the time. So that's usually where you can find me.
If you listen to a podcast and you haven't heard them say, "Oh, we have a thing from Alisaunder this week," you're listening.
And you're probably listening to an Overwatch podcast or Hearthstone.
Otherwise, if it's Blizzard related, she sends everything in. Doesn't always get the question on air, but it's always there. Galv.
That rhymed. That was actually pretty good. Hey, shout out to the raid teams, fire department. We're not quite sure which tree we're protecting this week, but
apparently none of them.
Hey, look, the fire department got a kill on Coven, and that's a big deal. That's a really big deal. So, congratulations, you guys. When we got that drop, you look back and you're like, the fight seemed so easy that time. And yeah, we got a very favorable mix of Titans. That's fine. But still, I mean, that was a big deal. Vex is still plugging away. Shout out to Vex. And then iHeals and Help to Pay for having me along. That was a lot of fun. And then obviously, real world stuff. Shout out to all those people who were having a tough time in Florida. It's a big deal. But yeah, how can you get a hold of me? Well, I play World of Warcraft 4 nights a week at least. I raid with Vexon Thunderlord and the Hyjal, soon to be Teladrisil Volunteer Fire Department on Airy Peak for CTR. I stream, and I would really appreciate it. You guys can follow me at Galvanid Online on Twitter, but if you follow me on Twitch and watch, I could really use follows. I could really use that stuff. And you can find me at Twitch TV/Galvanid, GALVANID. And that's my username in pretty much everything. How can people get a hold of you, Draven? And shoutouts.
Carefully. Oh, you meant online. Like social media type stuff. I thought you were talking like real life. I was like, I don't want them to get a hold of me real life. That'd just be creepy. I mean, I'm all for creepy and stuff, but there's a level of creepy that I am not prepared to go to.
You are all for creepy.
I mean, since you showed off your shirt earlier, I'll do mine now. I've got a shirt of a girl with a knife in a window.
Yeah, and she looks like she's rocking the Harley Quinn hairdo.
Yeah. This is a shirt of one of my favorite bands that I've seen 15 times live, Birthday Massacre. Thank you very much. Free shout out to you guys because you guys are awesome. Yeah, I mean, I can't really top your... I was going to say something about the Florida thing just because, but I can't really say anything that won't get me banned off Twitch.
Yeah.
So... and I'm not going to say thoughts and prayers because...
You feel free. 97% of our country is religious.
Delusional.
Yeah. And the other 3% still have thoughts.
Yeah, well, maybe. Some of them have thoughts. I don't know what kind of thoughts, but yeah. No, I mean, I'm making jokes about it, but terrible situation. Something eventually is going to happen, but until people are willing to sit down and have a logical conversation and be civil, you know, it's just going to keep happening. But, you know, hopefully people learn from this and move on in a better fashion. But as for an actual shout out, I'm going to give a shout out to Alisaunder, who was originally going to be here 2 weeks ago, and then we had some tech issues, aka my crap broke. Thank you very much, Windows. And then she was going to be on next week with this week's guest. Couldn't make it, reschedule. She's like, yeah, I can make it this week. Yay. So she's been very flexible with her schedule. And I had to throw the word schedule in there because I didn't want to tempt chat with anything weird. Or Galv's mind, for that matter. Because I know how he works.
I know what you're implying.
Sick old man.
He didn't let me touch the show notes. I had to make my own.
I sent you, and then I told you, let me know. And, you know.
And I did. I sent you several more things.
Well, I knew how long we were going to be talking as it was. Anyway.
It's been fun, though. It really has. I've been following your show for quite a long time. And as you know, we've had the problems. My podcast app will not accept your app anymore, so I literally have to watch it live. No matter what time of day or night you're on.
Or you go over to YouTube, or you know, within a couple days they're over there.
Oh, you mean I can do that? That's a thing?
Yeah, you could go to YouTube and have it on in the background while you do something else. But if you want to be here live, that's even better.
Well, how else can I harass you? I can't harass you on YouTube.
Well, you can. I'm just going to ignore the comments because it's a YouTube comment. I'm crazy. I'm not stupid.
You're on the internet.
This is a little column A.
I would like to say, just as a parting thing, that Total Biscuit, I hope you're getting better because I do miss you.
Yeah, I know a little bit about that situation, but not a ton. So
yeah.
I will second that because I don't always agree with him and his opinions, but dang, he's funny when he makes them most of the time. That's a funny
He
guy.
also runs a hell of a Starcraft tournament.
Well, okay, yeah, you can go with that. I was just trying to keep it, humorous.
I know. I love his Twitter feed.
Oh, yeah.
And I love his shows, and I love watching the old, like, he did the Casters Invitational last year. He did part of the casting of it, and it was hilarious. He has a way of saying things that entertains me no end.
He's cool. Like I said, I don't always agree with him, but he's still cool. And on that note, I have some legally obligated things I must say, because if I don't, I will get in trouble. Such as, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/podcastepicfail. If you feel like throwing money at us, you're under no obligation to do so, but I will happily say thank you. And as usual, shout out to Norman.
Yay, Norman!
He's a turtle. He's been missed in raid.
Awesome.
But
yeah, we do miss Norman.
Yeah. Discord. We have our own Epic Fail Discord. I'm assuming the link still works. I'll have to make sure, but presuming it does, bit.ly/Epic Fail Discord. And if it doesn't, well, I'll link a different link underneath, and you can click that. It'll be fine.
Or you can email Draven at...
Or you could email me at... No, don't email me. You could email the show.
Yeah,
I
think that's what she meant to say.
Yeah.
Tell him all the notes that he should have gone over but missed.
I'm just verifying the email now. It is podcastepicfail@gmail.com. I was just verifying it because the stuff does go back and forth. Some of it's Epic Fail Podcast, some of it's Podcast Epic Fail. So I just wanted to make 100% sure I said the right things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Billy Bob.
And tell Draven all the fail.
Every week. It's not just a catchphrase, it's a way of life here.
I knew there was a reason I got invited.
Yeah. Well, you play a hunter, so it kind of goes with the territory.
Oh.
Default fail?
Yeah. Last legally obligated thing, due to the music of our intro, it is from bensound.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. We will eventually be adding more stuff whenever I'm less busy, less lazy combination. Or at least one of those happen.
Never.
It will eventually happen. But until then, it is just the one song from Bensound, which I love. Like I mentioned last time, there were so many that I had to pick from, and I just was like, I like this one. So I chose that one. I have other ones saved, but that's the one I'm using. So, with that, we have our tradition. I completely forgot Alisaunder. I am so sorry. We have our tradition of when a new guest comes on, and I know you've been in chat for a long time, so it isn't the same. But we have a tradition of a new guest. What in game is your biggest epic fail or funniest epic fail in a game?
Well, I'll go with the easy one because it was my first one. When I started playing EverQuest, and we were having a great time, me and my friend, and totally excited about this whole new world called an MMO RPG. It was exciting. It was wonderful. And then we started getting these messages saying, "You're going to die unless you eat and drink water." And we're like, "What? What? What? How do I drink water? Where's my food? Do I have food? How do I get food?" And we were terrified because we had no idea. And we actually found a kind person who stopped and did not harass us about it or tell us we were stupid. He just took us over, bought us some food and water, showed us a thing called a vendor, explained how the food, eating, and drinking system happened in EverQuest, and that's why I'm basically still in EverQuest, and that led me to MMOs and podcasts and
now you are everywhere.
And I still think about him. He was a good friend for a while. So that it's a small thing, but it was frightening.
Sometimes,
Yeah, and it would kill you. It would kill you.
yeah, well, sometimes all it takes is one person being nice to make all the difference in the world.
Yeah,
Aw.
Not you, Gal.
everybody was a newbie one time.
Yeah, I mean, Gal has been playing WoW for how long now?
Since Alpha?
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
All right, now that that's out of the way, I apologize that it took us.
that.
I apologize that it took as long as it did. That's usually something off the top of the show. But
Yes, normally Draven cuts down all my news, so
yeah,
today he didn't have a chance.
I didn't have a chance. You just kept going. So I just muted myself and walked away. I was still here. But
Your $20 is in the mail.
okay, thank you, Blizzard. She's paying me. You can send me some money too. You make more than she does. I think. With that, do we have any last words for the show?
See you next week.